What up? What up? What up, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? What's going down, man? What is going down? Been a minute. Been a minute. It's been a minute. But we gotta handle the business that's important first of all. You know. But now, But now we back. Now we back to the other business, and we got all businesses running. Pretty soon, we gonna everything gonna be running at full throttle. But what's going on with y'all, man? What's going on with y'all? How y'all been? How y'all been? How y'all been? There's been a lot going on. A lot going on. But you know how we do. We get to it when we get to it, man. Pretty soon we're gonna be on top of it like we used to be. But right now, man, we out here on the road and stuff. We out here on the road just chilling, man. World Cup going on. Hey, listen, that goddamn World Cup traffic, no matter what the transit in your city did to relieve congestion, traffic, and slowdowns, none of it worked. There was still some sort of traffic, some sort of hassle, aggravation in the community. I ain't gonna front. Boston, New York, Connecticut, because in Boston there was a host. New York, New Jersey was a host, and Connecticut's right in between. So those those surrounding cities and states get the fallout because we're not talking the people that's already there going to support. We talking about 6, 7 other countries, not full countries, but 6, 7 other countries worth of people. Well, people from 6 or 7 other countries is what I'm trying to say. Uh, Pulling up to support their countries, and don't get me wrong, it was fly. I enjoy seeing it, but being a truck driver up in the Northeast, yo, you really got some fallout. You really got some inflation, but you also really got to see um, how other people are, and they had a lot of fun, man. They had a lot of fun. They enjoyed it over here. They didn't like the food. They said the food is a killer. I forget what country it was. They shipped thousands and thousands of pounds of food over here, so they didn't have to eat the food that we produce here, because we all know what the food that we produce here does, health wise, longevity wise, lifestyle wise. You know what I'm saying? The food here is whoa, whoa. But it was cool to see them, man. They came, they enjoyed. Um, that was pretty dope. Now the World Cup is dwindling down, traffic's dwindling down, construction is picking back up because before you couldn't well they couldn't do construction and have all that traffic that they that they had before. I tell you one thing, it showed how some countries live. Like, we're one of the only countries, realistically, that seems like we're against each other. We're against our own government. We don't look like, when I see other countries and how they conduct themselves, we don't look like the greatest country in the world. We don't look like the greatest nation in the world, to be honest. But I think when we say the greatest nation in the world, we say that out of the guise of freedom of speech and military power. That's that's how we look at being the greatest nation in the world. And I ain't gonna front. Every time I go visit somewhere, every time I'm out of the country, I always say to myself, this is so much nicer, and the temperature is so much, not the actual temperature, is so much more chill than here. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I think a lot of that shit is by design. A lot of it. I was watching Jason Whitlock today. Some of y'all might ask why. I was watching Jason Whitlock today. He broke it down in a way that I never thought about it before. And I think he was right. I think he was right. He didn't break it down in terms of race or even class. He broke it down under the guise of patriarch, patriarchy versus matriarchy, right? And there was some stuff he broke down. He, although he might have been right, I ain't gonna repeat it because to me, it was a little, it was a little offensive. But it has something to do with like Native Americans and white people or whatever. Um, and then white people and black people. You know what's crazy? When we talk about all the foul shit in the country, we talking about a lot of foul shit that happened in the country, right? It's always one group that's the common denominator. That's nuts to me. That is nuts to me. That when we talk about that type of shit, it's always one. That's the common denominator. I put up a poll, not even a poll, just a question on my TikTok, maybe Friday or Saturday. And I said, what's the most dangerous group of people in America, in this country? And the answers was all over the place. Answers was all over the place. How, I don't know. But the answers was all over the place. And I kind of think they know what the answer is. They know what I was answer is. Yeah, they know what the answer is. But anyway, I got something that's gonna make the day a little bit better for you. I got something that's gonna make the day go a little bit more smooth for you, right? Man, we gotta understand. We gotta understand, right? When you see when you see something like, say somebody got a Ferrari or a Benz or big ass house, nice penthouse, whatever they got, you see that, and you like, damn, that person balling out, going crazy with it, right? You gotta got that. Whatever they got that you like, admire, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is, right? Whether they got a business, they popping on social, whatever. All you gotta do is not put yourself in the position of fan out. I'm a fan. No, 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 no. You got to put yourself in a position of student, a note taker, right? How they doing this? How they doing that? How this person? Because you probably, I watched the person online. I ain't gonna say who, but I watched the person online when they had maybe 300 or 400 subscribers, followers, whatever you want to call it. To I watched this, and I watched them 3 or 4 days in a row, and I said, "Oh man, that's you know what I'm saying." Boom. I come back maybe 5 or 6 months later, 25,000. Their audience is 20, not in their live, but I mean like their support 25,000. So you know, I'm peeping them, peeping the game, I'm checking. One thing for a fact, they're gonna be there every night at the same damn time. Cut to about maybe a year and a half later, 300,000, right? And I'm like, damn, they moving, they moving and shaking. I'll say it probably about 6, 7 months later, same bat time, same bat channel, 800,000. I'm like, yo, I don't know how this is happening like this, but I need to figure this out. Consistency though. Think about it. When we was younger, everybody had their TV show, whatever the TV show is that they like, right? Cartoon, whatever, sitcom, drama, whatever. 902 Beverly Hills 90210, Martin, Cheers, Friends, whatever the fucking shit was that you like. You know, Thursday 7 o'clock, Wednesday 8 o'clock, whatever that show was, Saturday night 9 o'clock. You know that show is gonna be on at that time, and that's how these people online is building this consistency, building this fan base with consistency. Because, and it ain't for everybody. Everybody don't like everybody's content. Everybody don't like Nightcap. Everybody with Shannon Sharp and Chad Johnson and Joe Johnson now. Everybody don't like the Joe Budden podcast. Everybody don't like Call Her Daddy. Everybody don't like New Heights, the Kelsey. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't like the Breakfast Club. Whatever. But the people that do like it, the people that do rock with it, they know for a fact the shit gonna be there this date, this time, on a consistent basis. The time and the place ain't gonna change. So whenever you feel like getting your enjoyment, getting whatever you get out of it, you know where to go and when to go there. Right? That's how these bases are built. That's how these channels are built. These platforms. That's how they're built. You know what I'm saying? And it's a grind. It ain't like motherfuckers just put on the camera and get it going. Sometimes they gotta sacrifice something, especially when you get to a level where that is paying for things. Maybe not supporting your lifestyle yet, but when that is paying for things, then you know what I'm saying? So that's how that happens. But what we now I'm gonna get into some of what Jason Whitlock was saying, and hopefully not what I was talking about earlier, not about the racial shit and all that, but just to the other part, to the lusty shit, right? Sometimes men, we going to check on OnlyFans, some of these chicks' Instagram, uh, or wherever else they at doing foul shit, right? Not foul shit, but doing whole shit that we get behind because some dudes can't help themselves. I was watching a clip this morning about a lady. She got a big, huge BBL. She jumped on stream with Adrian Broner and the dude he's streaming with now. I don't know this guy. I'm not familiar with him, right? So they trying to smash or whatever. They trying to get anything. Fuck, suck, hand job. They trying to do all kind of wild shit. She like, nah. So all of a sudden, she doing an interview talking about how foul they was. Oh, these niggas is this, these niggas is that, right? Cool. It was on Kick. Adrian Broner's on Kick. I can't think of the other dude's name, and I think if I'm not mistaken, I think this dude is a boxer too, up and coming boxer, or maybe he's a streamer only, and he be in the gym boxing, training, working out. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not familiar with it. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When I see Adrian Broner, the dude's such a disappointment. I just turn my head. But I'm glad to see that he's getting money now, streaming, take care of his kid. But some of the shit he's doing is dangerous because it's gonna put him in a jam. And check it out. This is what this young lady was saying. What she's saying is, she was kind of creeped out by it. Now, I can't really blame her because I done seen some clips of some shit Adrian Broner was doing. Shit creeped me out, bro. I turned and I just really washed my hands up. I've been washing my hands of him boxing, but I was kind of hoping he'd get his life together. But then I'm watching these clips online. He's streaming, but he's taking it to a point where he's going to a point where now I'm just like I can't even stomach him no more because he's going too far. But this lady was saying now that she's gonna start streaming. So basically what she did was she went on their stream, with all the fixings, the BBL and all that shit. And she basically tried to steal some viewers. She and I'm pretty sure, like I was saying before, you become a student. You study, you see how everything works, and then boom, you implement your own business model, which is you know what I'm saying, what you should do anyway. But the fact that she went on some interview or some podcast and started talking about them, and to my knowledge, she is what they thought she was, just not for them. So I'm thinking, okay, I see what you did there. See what you did there. You had them think it was gonna be what you was gonna do, what you do after the stream was over. They share their platform with you, and then boom. But she had other plans. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, she had another plan to slander them drunk dudes. We don't know the conversation before she got on their stream, but I'm pretty sure it was a conversation had, and you know. But Adrian Broner will, like I said, he will go all the way to the left, so I can't blame her or nobody else. But you done seen Adrian Broner stream. You done seen this nigga's behavior. So the fact that you run up on his shit, they got a truck full of Corvettes. Ooh, them shits look like they move. They get busy. That one in the back's a McLaren. None of those might be Corvettes because they all covered. But the fact that you done seen Adrian Broner stream, you jumped on the stream with this nigga, drinking and shit, knowing he ain't got no self-control, is odd to me. And I ain't saying that you shouldn't have checked his behavior and all that shit. And even put it out there. But when you put it out there, you gotta put it out there to these girls going on these niggas streams. Don't put it out there like, oh, if you don't want to do this, don't let nobody try to force you in. Nah. You gotta be specific to your situation. You gotta tell these ladies, yo, this dude is a creep. This motherfucker be fueled by alcohol. Stay the fuck off his stream if you ain't into that type of aggressive behavior, and you know what I'm saying? That's the way she should have put it to the I guess just the community. I guess I'm gonna just say that streaming community, the young girls is trying to get in the streaming community, and then right after that, announce that you about to start streaming. And her streaming career ain't gonna do good. I can tell you right now, because generally, women like that, that other big, ridiculously big ass lady, um, that's, I mean, you're gonna get a rush, but then once they see what you're talking about or what you're doing, motherfuckers just gonna be like, yeah, nah, this ain't what I thought it was gonna be, because they're not gonna be busting it open on a streaming platform unless it's one of those streaming platforms, which they already probably doing that anyway. Now I don't know about her, but I'm just saying they probably already doing that anyway. So what they trying to do is double dip off you. If you want to pay like that for them, cool. But I have yet to watch a stream a woman, female streamer that is interesting or exciting enough to keep watching. Now, women content be fire because they get to edit it, or if they talking about a specific thing. But when you talking streaming, you talking about these young cats. They be all like doing mad shit that I just don't see girls slash women doing on a stream. So it ain't really gonna be because they throw the rappers in their stream. Ice Spice, Nicki Minaj was on constant that stream. He's the biggest streamer of that nature, and ain't nothing come of it. Nicki didn't blow up. She had him on the stage at one of her concerts. He benefited more from her. Ice Spice didn't benefit at all. Her fucking cachet probably went down because she ain't interesting. She's not interested. She don't even seem like she want to be doing what she's doing. She'll hop on the stage and then she'll twerk, and then it's just like motherfuckers is just like, okay, okay, that's it. I think like the girl Ari, Ari, something like that. Moneybag Yo's wife. She's probably the only female streamer that if I go by her stream, she got numbers in there, and she's actually doing some shit that the people in there is interested in. And I don't think she's like an OnlyFans. Well, I'm pretty sure she ain't OnlyFans. So her lifestyle, I don't know what she did before this. I don't know if she was a rapper too, but her lifestyle, content, and stream is lit. So we talking one out of how many that tried. And I truly believe some of those ladies to have dope uh streaming careers or whatever. But what's going on is everybody's going to TikTok. These ladies going to TikTok because it's a fast jump in followers and subscribers. But you scroll past it. When you go on TikTok, you're gonna see when you see it because mainly all women live streaming, right? I'll say it's like 70-30 men to women streaming. You go on a TikTok live, you're gonna see women in the bedroom or women in the kitchen. How the fuck long can you be in the kitchen? You've been standing at that sink, wiping that motherfucking counter down for 3 hours. You've been standing in front of that stove for 3 hours. I ain't seen a plate get made. You standing in front of the stove with shorts up your ass, or talking about nothing. Like, I mean, it's just the thing is, all of them is offering the same thing. They self, and they self is not interesting. So you got a bunch of followers. Here's the kicker: you got a bunch of followers, but you don't. I seen a woman last week scroll, and then she was like, "Send a galaxy and I'll do it." So I stopped. I think a galaxy is probably $5. So dude send the galaxy. chicks on their fucking Galaxy. So she stood up, turned around, she walked to the wall or the closet, whatever the fuck she did, and walked back. And I said, somebody just sent you $5 to show them your ass, and to show them your ass, right? And if you look on her page, I guarantee you, just because this is just how it is, I guarantee if you look on her page, her ass is all over the place for free. So maybe a motherfucker just wanted to see it live in real time, but that's the time that's feeding to the ego of the culture that we in. Send her a Galaxy on TikTok to see her get up and embarrass herself. That's where we at, y'all. That's where we at. That's where we at. Anyway, I'm about to pull in to this stop. Been driving for about 2 hours, but now it's time to get to the money. Time to get to the money now. So we'll be back on later. About 10 try to do basis so we can get that audience built. Like, because on Facebook, listen, I'm gonna try to get back to doing this on a consistent basis. I'm gonna get back to doing my research. I'm gonna get back to putting shows together, and I'm gonna try to do like 45 minutes to an hour every day. We're gonna get back to throwing it on the podcast. Go check the podcast, The Real Mojo TV. I'm gonna upload this tonight, so this will be on there tomorrow. And like I said, man, we about to start back to getting busy. I just had to get other more pressing business situated. You know what I'm saying? Always take care of the skills. Always hone the skills that pay the bills. All right, and then everything else, you start getting it together when you get done. You're gonna have to grind. You're gonna have hard as hell. That's what you're gonna have to do. But I got faith that's what you're gonna do. So, like I said, man, I'm about to get out of here, get to the business, get to the business that pay the bills, and we shall return. Go check the Facebook, man. The Real Mojo. Go over to Facebook. Check me out over there, The Real Mojo. Like, share, subscribe here, and hasta la vista. Okay, peace.